Hi folks, I'm Eva from the Eva Christie Hand Knitting Podcast, and I'm coming to you from my studio in Perth, Scotland. And this isn't going to be my usual format of podcast today. I'd like to take this opportunity to speak to you all about something a little bit different. So I am the face of Perth Festival of Yarn. And it's something that I mentioned a few times in 2016 when I was doing all the prep for it, and it's something that I've just briefly touched on in my last couple of podcasts and mentioned that you would find all the information in the down bar for it, rather than sort of waffling on at length during my podcast, which I normally like to keep quite short and sweet. But it's something that is a very big part of my life, and it's something that I'm very passionate about being part of and bringing to people and bringing our sort of community together. So I wanted to take some time out and maybe start a sort of a new series alongside my podcast about my Perth Festival of Yarn sort of knitting diaries. And during these sort of smaller sort of vlogs, then I can talk to you a bit more about it with people who are interested, or people that might be coming along, the vendors, and possibly showcase some of their yarns to you through this medium before the event, which will take place on the 10th of September, which is a Sunday, at the Dewars Centre in Perth, Scotland. And just to let you know at this point that I am still taking in vendor applications, so I'm going to put all the information for this in the down bar down here. But you can put a vendor application through at vendors@perthfestivalofyarn.uk, or for sponsorship opportunities and the like, you can contact me at eva@perthfestivalofyarn.uk. So we'll keep it a little bit short today. These really should all be quite small, short episodes with very little editing, because that's my preferred format. I want to run through some of the vendors that we've actually got properly confirmed at this point. So this is essentially a full-time job for me. It takes up a lot of my time, and that's not a complaint because I absolutely love what I'm doing. I'm coming across more sort of suppliers and farmers and such all the time, which is a magical thing for me. And there's some other bits and pieces in the background that I can't... Well, I might be able to tell you some of it, but I certainly can't tell you all about it yet, but I'm extremely excited. So, confirmed vendors, we've got 20 something at the moment, and these are the guys that have kind of signed off on our terms and conditions. So these aren't just the people that, you know, we've maybe just been in touch with and whatever. We've got some people just sort of sorting through things, looking back at diaries, and we'll come back. So this group, this list essentially will grow in time. It's just a start. So for the 2017 event, we have Melted and Moglet Dye Works, Gong Crafts, Knit Knacks, Wee County Yarns, Ginger Twist Studio, Bloomin' Indigo, Mothy and the Squid, Northchild Knits, Arlene's All Sorts, Little Bee Accessories, Aileen Clark Crafts, Proggy and Tweed, Moulin Yarns, Lagenfeld Studio, This'll Do You, Bunlow at Woolery, Ripples Crafts, My Mama Knits, Caledonia Dye Works, Chandler's, Kate Sharp Knitwear and Newingston Yarns, and Busy Mrs. B. So already we've got a lovely selection of hand dyers and independent small yarn shops. We'll have fibre, we'll have felt, we'll have haberdashery, we'll have yarn bowls, we'll have all the sort of knitting accessories that you would expect. Although I can't divulge any further details at the minute, what I can say is we have 2 workshops in the planning stages. One's definitely confirmed and the other one we're still working towards, and we have a lecture confirmed as well. So we really have grown from our first year where we had 16 vendors at a different location. You know, to this point already, and we've got all this time until September to really sort of put on a wonderful event for you guys. Something else that we're trying that's a wee bit different as well is we are looking into, well, it's something that I'm passionate about anyway, is cutting down carbon footprints where possible and looking into environmentally friendly modes of travel as far as you can do. So we're looking into setting up a fleet of knit buses which would drive in from locations such as Edinburgh, Glasgow, Dundee, Glenrothes, Stirling, Falkirk, Aberdeen, Inverness, possibly others. We do have a lot of parking at the venue. There's immediately 200 parking spaces available, and there are a lot more in, you know, the main part of Perth, and we're only a sort of 10-minute walk away from the city centre and about 5 away from the main sort of train and bus stations anyway, so it's not like we're out in the wilds. But we thought knit buses might be an ideal way to meet new people, travel together, because you know that knitters just love to natter and such as well, and it gives you, you know, less stress to think about where am I going to park when I get there, do I have change parking? You know, your hands free, so you can actually craft en route to the venue. As for the venue itself, it's changed. There will be a very, very large vendors gallery, nice and spacious, so you'll have the opportunity to sort of go about and take your time. It'll be quite a relaxed atmosphere. We'll have a large breakout area, and there will be 2 cafes on site as well, and they will cater for a huge range of dietary requirements, and they do vegan as well as vegetarian options. There is a large bar area if you fancy a wee adult beverage while you're there, which is another reason that you might want to consider coming on a knit bus. We'll have a podcasters lounge and VIP area as well, and we're hoping to keep all of our workshops and our lecture all on the one site as well. So all the information on where to find other sort of streams of information as it's coming in, such as our Facebook and our Twitter and our Instagram. All this information I'll put with the email addresses in the down bar here as well. The website is still under construction. There's been a few teething problems with it, but that's okay. That's the way technology is, and it will come together. So we'll be able to link you into that in time. There's a Ravelry group as well, Perth Festival of Yarn, and we'll put some questions out to you as well so that we can gather your feedback, because this is your event as much as it's mine and the team that works with me as well. So I did just want to kind of give you a wee slice of what's going on, what's taking up a lot of my time in my life at the moment, to share some of that news with you, which I'm very excited about. If you've got any comments, any vendors that I've maybe not mentioned that you would like to see come along, you know, please feel free to kind of share that in the comments, or to contact me whether you're a vendor or you know someone that is. We are not closed to Scottish applications, although a lot of the vendors that will be coming along to our event have small businesses and farms based in Scotland. We're a very open and inclusive community there, so please don't let that be a barrier coming along to you. We'd love to welcome you along. So I'm just going to kind of sign it off. It's a totally different format. It feels totally different to me. It feels almost like I'm starting to podcast again. If this is something that you'd like to feel a little bit more of, hear a little bit more of, then again, let me know. Give me some feedback. I'll give them slightly different titles when you're scrolling through the channel as well, so you'll know what's going on. But I'm really excited to be doing this as an aside to my regular podcasts, and I look forward to showcasing some of the amazing yarns from the amazing vendors and suppliers that we are bringing to Perth Festival of Yarn in 2017. Bye bye for now.